What is going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com, and I got a free pick for you from this Dallas Cowboys versus Kansas City Chiefs NFL matchup going down on Thursday, November 27th, 2025. But before we get to the free pick, if you are looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, the ones that I have the most money on every day, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium, or you can click the link in the description of this video below. We've got so much free pick content here at Pickdawgz that you know these plays on the premium side are the best of the best, because that's what Pickdawgz Premium is for. But we've also got our inner circle. It's something we've been mentioning in a lot of our videos as of late. Now, it's not for everyone. It's for those who are placing larger bets of at least $1,000 or more per game, which is the requirement to be accepted into the service. But we've had a lot of big bettors and high rollers join this program already. You know, they've had a lot of early success with the one-on-one coaching, the bankroll management, the early releases. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in and that's for you, reach out to the number on the screen and we will get you some more information. But let's get to this one. Between the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs, two teams that, feels like their season is on the line as, the weeks are starting to dwindle. And, Dallas 5-1 so far this year, 6-5 against the number, picking up a big 24-21 win over Philly in their last matchup, while the Chiefs coming off a 23-20 win at home over Indy in their last game to improve to 6-5 on the year, 5-6 against the number. And, both these teams had to rally from behind to pick up the win last week. Dallas coming back from 21-0 down to win that game 24-21. Kansas City rallying from a 20-9 deficit midway through the fourth quarter, tying the game with a kick to send the game to overtime, and then the walk-off field goal in overtime to get the victory there. And right now it just seems crazy to see the Chiefs with their backs against the wall. And, for the Dallas Cowboys, for a team that always has so much promise, to just, have fallen flat and, just to, be fighting for their playoff lives at this point. And with how, stacked the NFC has been in terms of, teams from like the NFC West stepping up and, the NFC North being really good this season. It's just, it's like I said, it's hard to fathom these teams, falling behind. And they got work to do, especially Dallas, who's, a couple games off the pace. San Francisco right now is 8-4, holding on to that final wild card spot in the NFC. So, like I said, we do see that the Cowboys really have some work that has to be done here. Kansas City, it's a lot tighter in the AFC. There's 3 teams at 6-5, and there's a bunch of teams in a logjam at 7-4 in the 5-7 spot. So all of a sudden, one win in the playoff situation can completely flip. And I think that sense of desperation, it's going to work for the Cowboys here, to be honest. The thing is, a lot of folks are calling into question the level of competition on the other side in terms of, how good these offenses have been in recent weeks. I mean, they faced the Las Vegas Raiders and held them to 16 points. And then, they held the Eagles to 21. But that's an Eagles team that's been outgained. I think it's like an 80% of their games by their opposition this season. And at a certain point, it was always going to come back and bite them in the ass. And it has a couple times already this season. And, I think that, that's, a testament to just how much improved I think this Dallas Cowboys defense is with the additions that they made via the trades. And, Kansas City, this has been a Kansas City team that, has picked up some decent results, put up some decent point totals. I mean, the 30 that they put up on Detroit was impressive earlier in this year, but I mean, they put up 17 against the Eagles themselves, 22 against the Giants, 37 against a Baltimore defense that was really banged up at the time, 28 against Jacksonville in that primetime loss, and then, 31-28 against the Raiders and the Commanders. And since then, I mean, it's been, scrappy dogfights in all their games pretty much, and they could have had a 3-game losing streak coming into this game if they didn't have the comeback effort against Indy. I think this is a game where, the points are going to be, a factor here. I think that, especially if you can get it at 3.5, I think this game could come down to a field goal. I think that, like I said, with both teams needing this win and, the high stakes nature of it and the spotlight on this game, I think that, like I said, I think it's going to come down to the wire. I think it's going to be a really close one. So I'm going to take the points here with the Dallas Cowboys, and that's going to be my free pick. But thank you so much for checking out this free pick video. Let me know who you guys like in this game in the comment section below. And just remember, if you're looking for my best bets, again, you can head to Pickdawgz.com, click the Premium Picture the Experts tab at the top of the page. You can also click the link in the description of this video below and use the promo code PICK, P-I-C-K, at checkout and get 15% off your purchase. Best of luck. We'll see you guys soon.